Hello, people of the internet. I'm here to show you how to wheelie a heavy ass e-bike. Now, the technique is 90% similar as to wheeling a normal bike, but there's some changes because of the motor and the weight distribution. But overall, I feel way safer on this bike doing wheelies than others. So several things. Seat up helps, especially if you're short like me. What else? Low gear, very important. I'm in the second smallest gear or second biggest, depending on who you ask. But basically, my pedal spins fast, my rear wheel spins slow. So you get it. And I have no whatsoever. The suspension doesn't matter. It's all about body position. So you approach slow, and then you power up like that. You can play around with the gears, and I wanted to do that. I'm glad that happened when I changed gears, because it's how to show you what happens when you overdo it, when you overcook it. Because of the motor, sometimes this one is not exactly the best. It's a Yamaha WS, the sports version. It's not as well tuned as the X version, so sometimes it gives you a lot of power, sometimes it doesn't give you enough power. So this was one of the cases where it gave me way too much power, and you just jump off the back. Once you feel your center of gravity, like the balance point, you're getting way off the back, you either press the rear brake, and that should bring the front wheel down like this. Might be a harsh landing, or just hop off the back and hold the bike like this, and that's it. And then it's a matter of playing around. What I usually do is that I lift the front wheel a little bit and then a little bit more and gradually build my way up. It's way harder with the e-bike because of the motor. It plays like it has a mind of its own sometimes, and it's really hard to fine tune how much you input into it and what it reads and whatnot. But basically, since you're trying to balance on the rear wheel, your weight should be way back, right? Because if you fight it, if you're still with your arms bent, your weight is still on the front of the bike, and it will keep the front wheel down. But if you stretch your arms and lean back and look forward, look ahead, your weight is in the back, and it's going to be on the balance point on the rear. Now, to initiate the wheelie, which is what you came here for, because it's really easy to look at people doing it and whatnot, but how do you start it? Well, it starts with a push. You need to push down on the handlebars. It's like a rocky momentum, like in the bathtub when you did that, and it magnified. Well, pushing down, it's not necessary, but when you're learning, or when you want to do a quick wheelie, it's the best way, because it's going to give you momentum to pull your weight back, and that's gonna help. It's half of the job, help bring the front wheel up. Then, half a second or 300 milliseconds after you push down, you need to kick your dominant foot, in my case it's my right foot, forward, pushing down. That's gonna make the bike, doesn't matter, let's imagine there's no motor, that's gonna put tension to the chain, and it's gonna put power to the rear wheel. And that's gonna, in motorcycles, that's what they do. They use entirely almost the motor to do all the work and overpowering this so the front end lifts. Okay? So I'm pushing down and I'm pedaling, and as I do it, I move all my weight back and I stretch my arms. And then I try to maintain balance and keep on pedaling. That's the tricky part. And that's about it. That you're wheeling. That's all the science to it. Just remember to hit the rear brake if your front wheel goes way too up. You're doing a dank nooner, as some boozer boys call it, or just jump off it. Okay, and just practice. I haven't practiced as much with an e-bike. I'm more of a normal bike kind of guy. With my normal bike, I've been able to do 10 pedals. That's my current record. I'm not an expert in anything. I'm not Sam Pilgrim or anything like that, but I'm an intermediate kind of guy when it comes to skills. And just keep practicing. Just find an empty parking lot. If it's an uphill, it's easier. and just prepare and boom. See? Just overpower. Now this gear is a little bit high now. I'm in the third gear, so it's really easy to lift the front end really easy. So I need to go a little bit easier. Wow, it's so powerful. Okay, relax, man. I'm really going easy on this, and it's just pushing me. So let's try again with an easier mode on the engine. More and more manageable. Still a little bit too powerful, but okay. See, you just practice as many times as you need. Now that was a good wheelie. It was a 4-pedal wheelie. I'm happy with that, you know? And also relax, you know? Body position is also not as important with the e-bike if you manage to compensate with the engine. But it is important, I guess. And just relax, look ahead. You should be able to do it. I also have limited space here. I feel like I could wheelie for longer, but I have to turn. But enough about me, just practice. Just look ahead, body position, a little push, and you lift it. My advice is start small, just one pedal, you know? Boom! Just lift the front wheel. You know, and progress from there. Go a little bit higher now. You know, and hit the rear brake. That's gonna save you. Yes. You can also start at a standstill. It's easier to park. But since there's like a little, let's call it retardation, from the moment you hit the pedal to when the motor reacts. So what I do sometimes is pedal like this, hitting the rear brake, and then let go. And that should kick you off as well. Just a little bit of rear brake, just feathering in, and boom! You're up in the sky. But as well as not as predictable as the usual method. And also coming down controllably like I just did. Keep on pedaling so you don't come down hard. Another thing I like to do is to wheelie off, you know, ledges. I find a ledge like this and then I just wheelie off it. Or an obstacle, it could be a line. Imagine it's a ledge and you just kind of wheelie off it. It's really nice. Or this metal thing. See? Let's see if I can keep a wheelie all the way through the metal thing and off the ledge. Here goes nothing. Nope. Since there's a battery here, the front end really wants to go down, and when the rear wheel touches something like this, it also pushes you down. So I think I'm gonna need a higher mode on the motor to make it happen. But I don't think I will make it. I'm just gonna try it for shits and giggles. Ooh, that was a close call. I'm getting better. Practice comes perfect. I want to hit the ledge first. See? I love doing it. I don't know why. It's just so much fun. Well, guys, hope you learned a thing or two. I actually learned my first wheelies were on this bike. Thanks to the engine. You know, it compensated for my lack of skill. So take that into consideration. Practice every day, and you'll get it. You'll eventually get it. It takes a lot of time, effort, and your brain neurons, you know, connections, they take time to form, you know. You're not gonna learn in 2 minutes, unless you're a kid. Kids are amazing. Other than that, thank you for watching my stupid channel, and take care.